Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of daily origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue with our theme of looking at some traditional origami, and we're going to make a lighthouse. And this also works really good as a bookmark or kind of decoration like that if you're making greeting cards. It's a really nice kind of two-dimensional, really cool origami that makes use of double-sided paper. So it really works best if you can get regular origami paper that's colored on one side and white on the other. For this project, you're going to be using a rectangular piece of paper, half of a square. So my paper is going to be 15 by 7.5 centimeters. And I'll let you guys know the finished dimensions, so if you are doing it as a bookmark or as a gift, you'll know the size to make it. I think really if you wanted, for example, to make it a lot longer, you could easily use a much longer piece of paper instead of just using this kind of dimension. I'll show you. You'll see that when we finish it off what I'm talking about. It kind of depends on if you like having longer bookmarks or sort of shorter kind of bookmarks. Depends on your preference. So what we want to do here is start with our color side facing down, and I'm just going to start off with some basic creases up here at the top by folding the top edge over to the left so that I get a big triangle right here across the top. Open it up, do the same thing going the other way too. And what we want to do here is actually create a water bomb base up here at the top. To do that, if I get these two creases set here, then I can kind of flip things over and fold in half so that my tips meet up with where those creases hit on each side. And what it should do is bring a crease that goes right through the middle there. Open everything back up here, and then just let everything fall into place from those creases so that you get a big triangle right at the top. These two little flaps. I'm going to use each of those flaps to take and fold up to the tip. So I'll fold straight up to the top there, make a good crease. Do the same thing on this side too. Once you've got both of those folded up to the top, I'm going to open up these little flaps that you see here. You can see there's a little opening here. If I open that up and I push down, I can then take that creased edge, point it straight down towards the middle, smoosh it out so that you get a little square by pushing it down. I'm going to do the same thing on this side too. You just open up that little pocket, put a little pressure right on the top, bringing that tip right down into the middle, and smooshing it down to make two little squares. Now I'm going to take each of these flaps that you see here and push straight up to the top corner so that I reveal white, and I have essentially a whole square of white then, made up of these three little triangles, the big triangle on top and then those two little triangles there inside. So we've got both of those folded up. Then I'm going to take each one of these sides and fold it over. First we'll start with the left. I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to take this outer right edge and fold into the center. So essentially I'm tucking half of this behind. This just makes it a little easier to do it this way. But you get that folded over, and then you can return that flap over. So we've got that whole bit on the side now tucked behind. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just fold everything over to the left. Take that edge and fold it into the center. And then make it open up so that you get this narrow section right here in the middle. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom part down here, this little bit, and fold it straight up so I can get a nice set of kind of like a narrow triangle at the top there. And we're going to take both of those little flaps that we have up here, and if I tug gently on them, pop it out, and do the same thing on this side too. And then just keep that fold that I had there, just keep pushing it straight up. You should be able to kind of maneuver this so that you can smooth this out to open into a nice little corner on each side, giving you this finished sort of, what's called a boat base there at the top. Now I want to go ahead and take and kind of as a mental note, just for balance purposes, this is just more of a design point than anything. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want to kind of imagine this distance that you have here. And you want to fold up down here at the bottom about twice that. So you can take like a pen or something and kind of eyeball it and then say, okay, well that's about twice. It's just sort of a guesstimate to kind of give you balance to everything when you're done. But you want to fold up a section of the paper there at the bottom. And then I'm going to take and fold back down again too. And this is where you should have something that's about the same width here as up here, just to give you a good balance to things. So we've got that part opened up. Now I want to take everything and kind of turn it over for a second. And I'm going to take the left side and fold it in, and this is where you can kind of decide how narrow you'd like your lighthouse to be. You don't want to fold beyond this edge here. I think kind of folding all the way to that is a little too far. It's good to kind of give yourself a little bit of room in the front to create a nice little line right here. So you get a double edge between from here and then here. So give yourself a little peek of that white triangle there behind. Fold everything over. You can keep things lined up because you'll have that bottom edge as a guide. Fold it over here. So you've got just a tiny bit of that peeking out. And when you look at it on the other side, you can see you've got that little bit of an edge there. Now I'm going to fan out the bottom part down here by essentially pushing on the top part there. If I open up that little bit of flap and I put a little pressure here, I can smush it all the way out as far as you can without tearing things over here on this side and smooth it out, so you wind up getting something that looks like this. Now if I take this bottom right edge here and fold it up so that it's even with essentially this part in the back here, so kind of fold it up, imagining that it's kind of even with that line, that hidden line behind everything. And then I want to take it and tuck it underneath. And you can either start here by just folding it all the way over into the front and get a good crease started, and then just pop it in. You'll notice this bit of edge is going to prevent me from doing it. You want it to get all the way in here. So it gets folded and tucked underneath. It's out of the way. And you've got that nice little edge there, the triangle. I'm going to do those exact same steps going this way too. Now I want to make sure that I'm getting a nice balance here, that I've got the same amount of white sticking out. And you can really get a good feel for it by just kind of looking for a second, checking yourself by flipping it over and making sure that you've got equal parts on both sides. So I'm going to line up everything here and along the bottom so I get a nice straight edge. And we're going to repeat those steps of fanning out this bottom part too. So again, if I just tug on this first layer and push out on that top edge until I can get a nice smooth part down here at the bottom, get this kind of funky little shape. I'm going to take this outer left edge and fold up to kind of an imaginary line there at the bottom. Take everything here and fold it straight down so you get that nice crease started. And then you can kind of open things up because you do want to get it right into here so that it can disappear completely and get tucked away. So you got those nice clean edges there. And then I'm going to tuck this together by taking the right part and tucking it into this tiny little pocket that's down here at the bottom. It's not going to keep things super secure, but it will keep things laying flat by just pushing that underneath. And it can give you that nice smooth edge there then on this side. And then when you flip it over, you've got your finished lighthouse bookmark. Now the dimensions for this little guy are about 9.5 centimeters tall and about 2.5 centimeters wide. 9.5 centimeters tall and 2.5 centimeters wide. Like I said, this makes a great decoration for making greeting cards, for doing kind of a display. If you're doing like an ocean theme, you have a lot of boat origami like that, you can make a really cool kind of collage, if you will, of different pieces. But that gives you your completed lighthouse, excuse me, which is our finished project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.